Guys, let's start this video where the last update ended. Here's that double yolker. Actually, it's a different one because the old farmer ate the one from last time. Here's a regular size egg. And here's that fairy egg. So let's break them open and see what's in each one. And I'm fixing to bake a cake anyway, and I'm going to need them. So this is a good time to break them open and see what we got. Let's start with the fairy egg because it's going to be the hardest one to see, but usually all that's in here is a yolk, but I'm not sure. The shell is very brittle. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not putting it in there. Wow, now that was different. You see that? It was all shell. That is not what I normally get. I'm going to rinse that out. The egg is fine to eat, but I'm not going to eat it. Teeny tiny little yolk and the white. Normally it's all yolk. That was interesting. And the only reason I'm throwing it out is because that shell was so brittle that the bowl is full of shell. Like I said, I had more shell in there than egg, and that's why I didn't keep it in for my cake, but it would have been safe to eat. Now here's what I'm certain is a double yolker. Yep, sure enough, 2 yolks. One of these days I want to try hatching out a double yolker, although they say that that's near impossible to get twins to hatch, but wouldn't that be fun? Okay, here's a regular egg. There you go. Now, since my eggs are all different sizes, and I think anybody that does any kind of baking knows the best thing to do if you need a specific number of eggs and it calls for 2 large eggs is to measure it. A large egg is a 1/4 cup. So I need 2 large eggs, so I need a 1/2 cup of eggs. So I'll probably measure it. And actually sometimes I use a little extra. All right, on with the update. Let's do a meat bird update. I almost forgot. They're about 5.5 weeks old. They're big enough now that every day I come out, every morning, and I let them out. And see what they're doing? Eating and pooping. Eating and pooping. That's all they do. They got water. I put their water under the heat lamp to keep it from freezing. And look how big they're getting. They'll be coming out here just any minute. And they hang out here all day. And boy, he's so happy to be out. I was hoping to get them walking a little bit more. They're getting big enough now. They just kind of waddle. That's why their feet are so big, is to kind of balance their weight. Notice how he just waddles and then they sit. They're just too big, too heavy. Of course, the bigger they get, the more they waddle. All right, guys, let's do a chicken update. Here they are, 6 weeks. My plan was to get them all in the freezer before Thanksgiving. And I think what I'm going to try to do later this week, or maybe by the weekend, is go ahead and process one and weigh it and see how big it is. And yes, they're still pretty small, maybe 3 pounds, maybe. I don't know. All right, guys. These birds are now 7 weeks old, and the ducks are wanting out. Today's the final update. Now, let's let them out. And, well, I hope they'll waddle out here. They're waiting for me to feed them. I'm going to set the feeder outside and see if they'll come. You'll notice that they do have a little bit of water. Here we go. They're starting to come out. They really waddle. Look how big they are. And I don't know if you remember, but little tiny things were barely underneath the size of that waterer. And now this little pen that I raise them in is full of chickens. And I told the old farmer, we've got to get them in the freezer today. Otherwise, they're going to get so big, we're not going to have enough room for them. So, see how big they are? They just waddle. So anyway, today is the day. I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm going to try my best. But there's just 2 of us doing 25 birds. And we've done this many times. But it's takes us longer to get set up usually than it does to do the dastardly deed. But I will try to video as much of the process as I can. I know some of you don't want to see it, and so I'll warn you. And but guys, it's pretty interesting. And we call that from the farmyard to the table. They're all running up to me right now because they're hungry. And their water, I think they're out of water. But you want to withhold their feed for 12 to 24 hours. Guys, I didn't have the heart to do that to them. So I didn't give them any more feed. They're pecking away at what crumbs are left. But I did give them water last night. So anyway, they're waiting here for me to feed and water them. But you'll see when we get in there why you don't want them to have any feed.